Bare mic till your brain burst. I guessed appeared twice and the check will clear 3 times for the same verse. I was always a demon.
Hello everyone, this is Darko 2012 with Global Government News, and I'm going to be covering the recent events as far as the healthcare bill being passed, and then this individual who threatened a representative in Congress, and basically tie that in with the recent raids on militia groups, or a militia group, one in particular in Northwest Indiana / Illinois, Ohio, and Michigan. And so I'll give you my take on it, and I think it's always best just to wait and see as more information comes in, and see what that information tells us, because right off the bat everything's really, it can be confusing in that. So yeah, but I mean, I guess an opening point that I would like to make is that we are so far beyond what our forefathers, and mostly the patriots that fought and bled for this country, and the Constitution, and even the Articles of Confederation is what they fought and bled for, and then they were had a Constitution forced down their throats, and then we had over 10 presidents before Washington. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes way back to the day as far as what real conservative means, and I believe that every state should be its own country, and the sheriff is the law of the land, the highest authority. And so we're living in a time now where you have a feds, ATF, all of these alphabet soup agencies that have just grown immensely, like just little parasitic termites that whenever they, or not, well, it's their masters as well. I mean, they're our masters, but they take orders from them too. It's not because these people actually believe in what the fuck they're doing. No, they just do it because that's who their boss is. That's who feeds them, and that's who gives them toilet paper to wipe their ass. So they're going to do whatever it is. It's not because they actually care about what they're doing. Because we all know that they don't keep us safe. All they do is take our liberties and our money away, our wealth and our property. So, as the government, I'm going to make this into probably a two-parter because it's a pretty big deal here. And as the government increases in size so much in a country like the United States, which has for the most part been relatively conservative in size and socially, and it's like, as every conservative, as conservatism and conservatives become known in the public as extreme, right? Because the government's so big that now being a conservative is extreme. I mean, a real conservative, not a douchebag Republican that is a neoconservative or a neo-socialist or a Nazi, which is similar to their counterpart, which would be considered a communist Democrat. And so they're, Republican, Democrat, both the same. They're about big government, they're about big corporations, and about shitting and poo-pooing on the taxpayer. So, in that type of atmosphere, anyone who is remotely conservative in the real traditional sense would be considered extreme. So that's why you'll see in all these propaganda pieces that our piece of shit media, mainstream media, just lies down and publishes. They'll say what? They'll say, oh, the far right, right? Now it's the far right. If you don't want to have your liberties taken away and you want to keep your money and you don't want to be overtaxed, you are in the far right, because everybody that's a pro-Nazi and a pro-communist is either Republican or Democrat, and they're in the center because it's the same parties. It's just a unanimous decision. It's bipartisan because they care about you, not. So my point is that all conservatives now have become extreme, and all extremists are terrorists. So now you have real conservatives that are extremists, that are terrorists. This is the world that we live in, and this is what I've been saying in recent videos, is that all of these torturing in Guantanamo Bay, and there's secret torturing bases the CIA has, and the Patriot Act, we're going to spy on you and your email messages, your emails, your text messages, your phone calls, your plane tickets, your credit card statements. Yeah, we're going to do it all in the name of saving you and helping you. Well, all of that, including Oklahoma City, all of that stuff that was been used for Middle Eastern people is now being, and was planned for, but is now being, at this point in time, March 28th, 2010, now almost 9 years later, after the biggest false flag attack in history, besides Pearl Harbor and other ones in Oklahoma City and the Reichstag fire, you had 9/11, and that was the turning point. That was definitely the turning point where our liberties and our financial freedom would be demolished and smashed, and they bring in this new order. And so this is the time in March 2010, along with right after the G.I. Jane incident, where articles were being posted about, the new terrorist, domestic terrorist, is blonde hair, blue eyes, right? So this is it, people. This is it. This is what all that bombing brown people in the Middle East, besides just getting the name of the word terrorist into everybody's mind and saying, "Ooh, see, terrorists. The people in the Middle East are fighting to keep the foreign occupiers out. They want foreign invaders and their little empire to get the hell out of their country. So we're going to call them terrorists." And so in their country, the people that are traditionalists, that are quote conservative, are titled, they would be considered patriots over there, but over here we call them terrorists. And now in the United States, people that are traditional conservatives, and see what's going on. Well, now all the apparatuses that were designed for taking out quote terrorists, depending on where you're from, they can be considered patriots, will now be turned inwards towards the United States conservatives and militia members and anyone who loves freedom, and they will be considered extreme because, well, I already explained because, and they will be called terrorists. So I don't condone terrorism. I don't condone bombing and doing anything causing harm to property or life of any innocent civilian or law enforcement. So just wanted to say that right off the bat. So there is how I wanted to start the video. After this healthcare bill was passed, we're going to roll into a two-parter, and so just join me in this last minute here, and then we'll go into the next video. But this is a Reuters article, and it says, "Man arrested for threatening Representative Eric Cantor. U.S. authorities have arrested and charged a man with threatening to kill the number 2 Republican in the House of Representatives." And it says, Eric Cantor, his family, according to court documents filed on Monday. And of course, yes, this is very suspicious because, it's radical Christians again, right? Just like the militias that were, the members that were arrested. It's the apocalypse. It's the Antichrist. So they're really just demonizing anybody that makes YouTube videos, like the Pentagon shooter, who's, he was on the internet and he was doing what I'm doing right now. And so they're just setting it up, guys. They're just setting it up. And of course it's always, a bullet was fired through the window in the midair, but it didn't hit anybody, just like all of the other false flag attacks that they carry out. So please join me, part 2 here with the PsyOps video. Thanks.